Welcome everybody to another episode of Adventure Kids Online. It is so cool to be back with you. Have you been enjoying our series, The World of the Generous, so far? I have been. If we haven't met, my name is Tom. It's awesome to be with you guys today. Now, seeing our series is called The World of the Generous, I personally think it'd be cool to talk about the world for a minute. Have you ever traveled anywhere in the world? Maybe you were even born in another part of the world. If so, tell me where you were born or maybe a place that you've traveled to. Awesome. There's so many cool places to visit in the world we live in. I was born in New Zealand, but my favourite place that I've traveled to is a place called Canada. You see, the world of the generous isn't actually about the physical world like the earth. It's about you. It's about me. And it's about the call that God has on our lives to be generous. Generous with what? Well, we can be generous with our words. Is that right? Yes. Can we be generous with our actions? Yes. Can we be generous with our attitude? Yes, we can. And can we be generous with our money? Yes, that's 4 yeses in a row. We can be generous. And you see, today we're talking about the plan that God has for our money. But quickly, I'm going to pray. God, I thank you that we can be here together at Adventure Kids Online. I pray that the words I speak today will impart information. They will be words that will allow these young people to come to know your love better and help provide them with wisdom that will guide them for many, many years. In your name, Jesus, amen. Can you say amen? That is awesome. And as I just said, today we are talking about the plan that God has for your money. Have you ever had a plan before? I'm sure you have. Maybe in a game of sport, going on a holiday, or coming up with a prank for maybe one of your siblings. It's always good to have a good plan. And just like a plan that you've come up with, the plan that God has for our money tells us what to do and when to do it. What to do and when to do it. Who wants to hear what God's plan is for our money? Let's get into it. So let's imagine that you were given some money. You were given $10. Oh my goodness, that is so awesome. And no, not yet can you run to the dairy and get some lollies. Not just yet, but maybe we can do that at the end. You've been given $10, and today we've got $10 made up of 10 $1 coins. You might think, what are those gold things? Well, yeah, that's actually part of what our money is, but also we can have money in notes, and we can have money on cards. You might see money in lots of different ways. You can even see people paying using their phone for things. But today, because it's a really nice way of seeing it, we're going to use coins. 10 $1 coins. You might see this money and think, wow, this is old. That's all right. Today's also a cool history lesson. So here's God's plan for our money. The first thing that he wants us to do is tithe. What's that? It means God first. God's plan is that we return the first tenth. So today that's the first dollar back to him. We hear about this in Malachi verse 3, and this is the only time in the whole Bible where God says, would you please test me? And that's his way of saying, I won't let you down. When you give your first dollar, your first 10%, in this case, he is saying that he will not let us down, that he can trust us. So here's our first dollar, our first 10%, God first. Can everyone say that? God first. Awesome. The second thing we can do is we can give. We can be generous. God has an amazing plan for us to be generous, and that's to use what we have, what's in our hands, to be generous to the needs of others. We can all be generous. So we can give $1. We can also give more, but I think $1 is a good place to start to be generous to others. And the third thing we can do with our third dollar is we can save. Can everyone say that? Save. Saving is putting money aside so that you can have it in many, many years' time. It might be saving for a short period of time, like for a bike or for a holiday. But I think the best kind of saving is saving that will not just impact you, but impact the people that will come after you. This might seem weird to your ears now, but one day you might have children and they might have children and those children might have children. One of the things we can do by saving is we're saving money aside for all of the future generations of people in our family to pass on something that we have today. So number 3 is to save. And after that, we've got $7 left. $7 that we can spend. You think, wow, that's quite a lot to spend. That's right. Now this is the part where we can go to the dairy and maybe get some lollies, or maybe you could buy yourself some new sports gear, a musical instrument, maybe you could buy a book. You have all of these $7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or if you have more, all the rest after these 3 to spend on whatever you like. And it's not a bad thing to spend money, but it's the awesome thing to do is to spend it knowing that you've given it back to God, you've given some to others, you've saved some, and then the rest. God says he will bless the rest when we pass the first test, which is giving the first 10% back to God. And that's the overview. That's God's plan for your money. It's really simple, and I know that it will help you for the rest of your life. But today, our focus is on being generous. What one was that? Was that this one? It was. It was on being generous and giving to others. And you might be thinking, I want to be generous. I just don't know where to start. Well, today I've got 3 quick thoughts for you that will help you make sense of how to be generous. Are you ready? Here's number 1. Say yes to bless. Can you repeat that after me? It rhymes. Say yes to bless. This means making the most of every opportunity that comes your way to be a blessing and to help others. You see, our money can be a blessing to others when it's in our hand? No, but when we use it to bless others, when we give it. So that's number 1. Number 2 is ask for the task. Everyone repeat that after me. Ask for the task. You see, what a great thing to do is to ask God, God, how would you like me to be generous? You see, when you ask, it also means that you're ready to listen. And so often when we're choosing to listen, God will give us an opportunity. So we're going to ask for the task of giving. And number 3, and I know that you guys are really good at this one, and it is selfless, not selfish. Repeat after me again. We're going to be selfless, not selfish. Giving often means sacrificing something of ourselves. Sacrifice means giving even though it can hurt a little bit. And this one can be hard. But seeing others being blessed often means missing out ourselves. And what I'd love you to do is to make the decision today is to maybe go without something of yours for the sake of somebody else being blessed. That might look like maybe that 3rd soccer ball that sits in the shed and you convince your family that you need 3 soccer balls, but your neighbor doesn't have one at all. He has no soccer balls. Let's choose to give him something or give her something, and that means sacrificing something of yours that you like to bless them. We're going to be selfless, not selfish. You see, often we miss chances to be generous because we don't look for them. But when we look for opportunities to be generous to others, God will show us many ways that we can do that and show his love. Last week, we learned about the story of the Good Samaritan. There was a man beaten on the side of the road, and the Good Samaritan man came past, and he saw the man first, and then he was able to be generous. Do you think if he was looking down at his phone or had his, head in the sky, or maybe he was just not looking with his generous glasses on, would he have been able to see the sick man? He wouldn't. But because he was looking and he saw the man, then he could take action. The Good Samaritan first looked, then he was able to help. We can't help if we don't look. Can you repeat that after me? We can't help if we don't look. That's my challenge for you today. And while we're on this topic of money, I've got a really exciting announcement. Today, I'm going to be introducing to you guys this new book. And this book is written by Pastor Paul, and it is called The Prince and the Secret Garden. And kind of like what I've been sharing today, it is all about the plan that God has for your money. Well, you guys know that God has a plan for your money. I know you guys knew it before today, and you learned even more about it over the last 10 minutes. And what I pray for your life is that as you get older and older and older, you will learn more and more about his plan for your money. How will you do that? A book like this is a great place to start. We're going to be able to have these for sale. So what I'd love for you to do is to contact your whānau or maybe one of your kids leaders and say, that book looked really cool. Can I get one of those? and they'll be able to help you do that. I've actually had a sneak peek. I've had a quick look. Do you guys want to have a quick look inside? There it is. And what I really enjoyed reading it, and I know that you will too. Well, anyway, that's all from me. I really hope that you've enjoyed learning about God's plan for your money. We'll see you next time, Adventure Kids. But for now, enjoy using that $7, and I'm going to enjoy eating these lollies.